Hi, everybody. This is Humaira Mullah, the founder and CEO of HM Accounting. So, I do feel like I haven't chatted much recently to you guys, which is something that I would like to do a little bit today. Because we know, just in business and overall, there are seasons in business where the goal is really just to grow. And there are seasons where you are just pushing and you are launching and you are building and you are saying yes and you are just trying to see how far an idea can go, right? And then there are seasons where life gently reminds you, or maybe not so gently, but it reminds you that business is only one part of that picture. And right now, I am in one of those seasons because I'm preparing to welcome baby number two. And I'm still obviously running HM accounting, supporting clients, managing deadlines, working on new ideas, businesses, projects, and trying to make sure that everything continues to run as smoothly as possible. And if there is one thing that this season is particularly teaching me, it is that a business that depends on you does not have to consume you. But creating that kind of business really takes you being intentional about it, right? One thing I know is that motherhood really changed the way that I think about business and even how I run my business. Motherhood changed the way that I view time. Before children, it was very much easier to think, I'll just finish this tonight. I'll squeeze that in tomorrow. I will work a little longer. But motherhood makes time so much more finite because you have kids runs like school runs, routines, appointments. There's days where you are exhausted and burnt out. Then you still need to make family time. And then there's moments that you simply just do not want to miss. And now, preparing for baby number two, I'm being reminded of that all over again, right? Because my baby number one, he's grown, we have a routine. I can kind of be a little bit more predictable in my days and how my days goes. But with having a new baby, that's not the case anymore, right? Because there's soon going to be feeds again. There's going to be sleepless nights. There's going to be recovery. There's going to be the newborn cuddles and an entirely new family rhythm that I obviously have to figure out. Business still always will matter deeply to me, but so does being present for this part of my life um, and for this baby, right? And so the challenge has become, how do I build a business that is going to allow me space for both things, right? And that is something that I've really had to think over because it's not an easy thing to figure out. So I'm trying to prepare my business for my absence, which has truly been just an eye opener. I know that there's a period coming where I'm not going to have my usual capacity, right? So that is why I tend to look at my business differently. And, you start to notice the things that only sort of exist in your head. You notice which tasks actually need your involvement and which ones don't. You notice where clients could receive information earlier. You notice repetitive procedures that can be simplified. And perhaps most importantly, you realize how easy it is for a business owner to become the system instead of actually building systems around business. So preparing for baby number two has actually forced me to ask myself what genuinely needs me, what can be prepared in advance, right? What can be automated, what can wait, what deadlines can I anticipate rather than just become reactive to? And what work should I just simply be saying no to during this season? Now, these are actually useful questions, whether you are preparing for maternity leave, you're taking a holiday, or you are simply trying to run a healthier business. Your business needs breathing room. Okay. One of the biggest financial lessons that I teach business owners through HM accounting is the importance of financial reserves because cash flow needs breathing room. So if every rand coming into the business immediately has somewhere to go, one unexpected expense can create a crisis. And I'm realizing that time works in very much the same way. If every hour of your week is allocated, one sick child or an unexpected appointment or a difficult day is going to throw everything off. So capacity is a business resource too, right? Having some margin in your calendar is not laziness or poor productivity. It is risk management. And particularly as a parent in business, I think that this is something that we need to talk about more often. I am also definitely learning to work ahead, not just work more, right? And I think this is a huge part of what I've been doing. My instinct has to solve a busy period just by working harder. But pregnancy has a wonderful way of reminding you that your energy is not unlimited. So this season really just required a different strategy, right? Instead of asking myself, how can I fit this in? I started to ask myself, how can I make the important things easier on myself? And that means things like planning ahead. It means communicating with clients earlier. It means preparing recurring work in advance where possible and being more protective of what I commit to. It also is teaching me that, or to accept that not everything needs to happen right now. There will be another season for some of those ideas. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about is that the numbers matter, but they should support your life. Okay. So as an accountant, I'm obviously going to tell you that your numbers matter. Your cash flow matters, your profitability matters, your pricing matters, your tax planning matters. But ultimately, the reason we want financially healthy businesses is because those businesses should create something for the people behind them. Things like security, like opportunity, like freedom and impact, a future for our families, right? And a business can look successful on paper and it can be still extremely difficult to live with. So that's why I increasingly believe that financial planning should not only ask, how much can this business make? It should also be asking, what kind of life does this business need to support? Okay. At the end of the day, I'm still figuring it out. I do not have a perfect maternity leave strategy. I barely have that, okay? I'm not even taking maternity leave or a full maternity leave. I'm taking as much time as I need away from the office and being present where I do need to be present. So I'm definitely not disappearing from HM accounting completely. I'm not pretending that I'm going to seamlessly balance a newborn, motherhood, family, and a business without some very messy days in between. I am preparing as much as I can. I am putting boundaries in place. I am most definitely working ahead. I am communicating. And when the baby arrives, I also want to give myself permission to enjoy a chapter that's going to pass so incredibly quickly. And maybe that is one of the biggest lessons that entrepreneurship and motherhood has in common. You can plan carefully, you can prepare, you can build systems, but you also have to become comfortable adapting when things do not go according to plan. So, just a question for every business owner, right? Really, it's not about whether you are expecting a baby. So you don't have to be expecting a baby to be thinking about this. I just want you to ask yourself, if I unexpectedly needed to step away from my business for 2 weeks, what would happen? Would clients know what to do? Would important payments still be made? Would you know what is coming in and what is going out? Are your records up to date? Will there still be enough cash available in the business? Could you actually switch off? That's really important. If that question makes you uncomfortable, then it may be worth looking at the systems and the financial foundations that are underneath your business. Because building a stronger business is not only preparing for growth, right? It is also about building something that can give you space when life needs you elsewhere. And right now, as I prepare to become a mom of two, that feels very much more important than ever. So that is just my thoughts that I wanted to share with you. I haven't been sharing, personal reflections recently or recent times, and it's just something that I wanted to share with you as to where I'm up to. Life as an entrepreneur, but life as a mother as well, and a female entrepreneur. Okay, so do subscribe, like this video. Let me know how you juggle business, motherhood, life, and your reflections from this post. But do subscribe, and I will keep you updated. Bye.